good evening, everybody. So I got to tell you, this is probably a big event for everyone. It is personally probably the biggest event for me. No one in this room other than me, not even you, are going to get to go home and tell their kids that they opened for Manny Vitabile. I got a couple headshots, if you don't mind signing them. They're from the beginning of your Wakefern career. They look like Brad Pitt. It's been a long 20 plus years. Before I get into it, though, I think that my friend Danny, where are you? Danny, over there, so Dennis?
Dennis.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
I will echo the words that Dennis said, though. So it is great. This is the first time I've been associated with the event. But after 3 years, when it would be very easy, it's been off of our P&Ls for 2 years. People are busy. They're working remote. They backfill their time with other things. That we are back here in person making a commitment to people in need, right? So as much as we joke, thank you to CIFI for pushing us on giving and donation and what really matters. I think it's important, and I know we've done it, but I do think we should give ourselves a round of applause for committing to being back here. So well done. I think it was touched on the last man of the year of 2019, Gary Rosenthal. Gary Rosenthal, the perfect candidate for the Catholic Institute for the Food Industry Man of the Year or Person of the Year. Gary, there is a punchline in here, but I see I'm being recorded, and I've still got to pay for my kids' college, so I'm going to leave it there. You can fill in the blanks. But on to the man of the hour or year, Mr. Vitabile. Just real quick, show of hands. How many people know Manny at least a little bit in the room? Y'all still came too. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I've seen Manny negotiate with many of you. Usually what happens is our consumer wins, the communities we operate in win, and you're left to pick up the pieces of your soul. And the fact that you're all still here to celebrate him is a testament to his integrity and the mission that he has, which aligns with the mission of CIFI, which is to deliver value and to help service to people in our community. So that is Manny to a T. I'll talk about Manny professionally for a little bit. Before I do, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about Manny as a person. He's here with his beautiful wife, Ida. Manny and Ida. Yes. Ida absolutely deserves a round of applause. 100%. They have 3 beautiful children, Bella, Sophia, Joey. And Manny, when he's not working, which used to be never and now is pretty often, is spending time with his kids. It's weekends to Penn State to see Bella, of which there have already been many. It's carving out time to see Sophia and Joey play soccer. And he is so proud of those kids. And if anyone in this room raised their hand saying they know Manny and they didn't know that, then you're not listening when he's talking to you, or he doesn't like you as much as you think he does. One of the, I'll let you be the judge. Listen, Manny is a man of very high standards. I don't know if anyone knows that. He holds himself to those standards much like he holds everyone else. So I will say, he's got an idea about what executive presence looks like. You're going to sit up in your chair, and you're going to look the part. Coming in looking disheveled with bedhead or shorts, regardless of the relaxed dress code, that doesn't go over well with Manny. We've had a couple casualties along the way, and I miss them dearly. But it's all about making everyone around him better. 5 months ago, Manny had an amazing boss at the time. That was me. He was fortunate enough to be tapped to go on a trade association trip to Italy. Now, if Manny thinks he has to look good, to drive to Edison, to sit in a conference room with me, what do you think he thought about having to go to Italy? Nordstrom's, Vineyard Vines, Ted Baker, blown out in May. So if you have Manny's measurements, I assure you did not find the spring collection of Vineyard Vines in May. I assure you that. But he looked great, I assure you. It's a lot of pressure to live up to those standards, though, and I learned that very quickly dealing with Manny. At an event like this, not too long ago, Manny pulls me aside and looks across the room. He's like, Jeff, you see that individual right there? Absolutely, Manny. What's up? Like, the belt, the shoes, they don't match. I said, oh, okay. You know what that tells me? What, Manny? What does that tell you? That's like someone wearing Under Armour sneakers and Nike shorts. I instantly know that I'm not gonna have a lot in common with that person. Man, half the room just looked at their belt and shoes. Half of the room. And I gotta tell you, the JOH team, they need some help.
Oh.
All of those things that Manny holds himself to and others is really, honestly, just about making everyone better. It is what's catapulted his career and allowed him to continue to succeed at Wakefern and do good for the communities we serve. I mean, that's a fact. From 1999 when he started, quickly went from accounting to category management, managed every big desk you can think of within the team, oftentimes simultaneously, and he will still tell you to this day, 20 years later, better than anyone else has ever done it. That's a fact. 2015, he was rewarded with a promotion to HBC to be a procurement manager of the division. That's when I first met Manny. At the time, I was an individual contributor on the pharmacy team at Wakefern. And I think you can tell a lot about a person based on how they treat you when you can do absolutely nothing for them. And at the time, the role I had, there was nothing I could do for Manny. Nothing. I thought a lot about him and I wanted to advance in my career and would soak up the knowledge he was willing to offer at any turn. And to his credit, I could do nothing for him, but he was always present. He was always dropping knowledge on me, and it was clear I had none to offer him. And it's that kind of talent development that has made us better as an organization, and in turn, provided service for the millions of communities that we serve, or the millions of people in the communities that we serve in the tri-state area. That has allowed him to move through the organization to, over the last 4 years, manage the grocery division. And I think if you look at individual contributions within the food industry, that's probably where he's touched this group the most. He has delivered with excellence an ad on the street that is second to none. If you know ShopRite and you watch our shoppers, they know that, they appreciate that. Saves customers hundreds of millions of dollars a year with that offer and this group's support. He's played a vital role in our Partners in Caring program. That is a charitable effort that is very near and dear to ShopRite. It's generated over $50 million over the years to help fight hunger in the communities that we serve. I can assure you, without Manny, it would be way below the number that we've earned with your support today. And then finally, just one other contribution. And Manny, let me make it clear. Manny is someone who goes out to make something happen every day. You don't just sit around and let things happen around you and take credit for them. You make them happen. So to go out and talk about a couple of things that you've done is very difficult to do. Most recently, Manny spearheaded an effort to measure the impact of a technology change at Wakefern. So anyone who's gone through an SAP transition understands the pain of that, even when it's executed flawlessly. Manny was tasked to understand the impacts of going from a legacy system to SAP, the time required during the change management process, and then in perpetuity thereafter. His work product is studied within Wakefern and admired by 100% of the Wakefern staff. It is lovingly known as the Vitabile time study. Two things have come out of that time study. One, Manny recognized this is not going to be fun, and has quickly moved over to a retail media job to avoid the impacts. Dan Leo's lost about 10 years on his life as a result of that. And secondly, it's gotten him, in addition to this award, something else that I've gotten for him on behalf of Wakefern to commemorate the time study. It is a $9 stopwatch in appreciation for all you've done for Wakefern. So before I turn it over to the man of the hour, I just want to say that you are not only a great person tonight, you are the person of the year, and I'm proud to call you a colleague and a friend, and would like to welcome you up. Everyone, Manny Vitabile.
Stop recording it, Jeff.
Good evening. Jeff, thank you for the words, as well as taking time away from Kate, Izzy, and Luca to introduce me here tonight. Notice I did not say kind words. This was good foreshadowing on my part, I believe. I have known Jeff since his early days of working in our pharmacy division. It is because of Jeff's work ethic, his business acumen, and personality that has me most surprised he leads Wakefern's largest product division. Well, you know I'm just kidding. I do appreciate your intelligence, your humor, and most of all, our friendship. Thank you again for being the honorary chairperson and introducing me. Welcome to our honored guests, members of the CIFI board, dinner committee, sellers and buyers of tickets, and Calvary Hospital. Please do not let the fact that I have invited you to the Bronx on a Friday during rush hour, as well as the weekend of the New York City Marathon, be a testament on how I feel about you. I am deeply honored and humbled to receive this award, the same award last given to Mr. Gary Rosenthal, a man I admire in many ways. Not only because he vacations with family and friends playing golf in San Diego, but because he gets it and he has figured it out. Thank you for being a great friend. First, I would like to thank my wife, Ida, for joining me on this journey over 21 years ago. To have your love and support means everything to me. To Gabriella, Sophia, and Joseph, for being the best children anyone could ask for. You all bring so much joy to my life, and I look forward to the positive difference you will make in this world. I love you with all of my heart. Without you all, none of this would have been possible. I've been truly blessed to start in the food industry over 23 years ago. I attended and graduated Kane University while working as a laborer for Local 394 in Elizabeth, New Jersey. Ida, my girlfriend at the time, worked in human resources and had easy access to a fax machine. Jeff, a fax machine is a device that scans paper and then transmits the image of that page using a landline to another fax machine. A landline is a telephone with a telephone wire. It uses a metal wire or fiber optic telephone line for transmission as distinguished from a mobile cellular line, which uses radio waves for transmission. Regardless, it was because of Ida that my resume landed at Wakefern. So to all of the food brokers and CPG folks in the audience, you can thank my beautiful wife for bringing me into your life. I have met so many wonderful people along my journey at Wakefern. Many are here tonight, including lifelong friends Neville Fenton and Manny DeSporto, also known as Young Manny, as Jimmy Sumas once called out in the grocery committee to differentiate him from me. I certainly assumed I was more experienced than Manny. I have also had many mentors in my career that have guided me to where I am today. Some cannot be here, but I am grateful. And I thank you for everything. You share this special award with me. I'd like to share a short story about my father that he used to tell me. My father, Vitabile, may he rest in peace, immigrated to this country from Ribera, Sicily. In 1956, traveling with his mom and two siblings. His father, an older brother, made the trip to America the year before. He was in line ready to board the Andrea Doria, and the same age as my son Joseph, who's 12. He told me there were armed guards on the dock, certifying everything was in order to get on the boat. It is important to note that my father was born with a degenerative, he was born with a bad hip, folks. Not once did I mess that word up. He walked with a limp to alleviate some of the pain caused from his bones rubbing together. I remember he would mimic the motion with his knuckles, pressing against one another as he moved his hands back and forth. As my Nona was holding his hand walking towards the ship, a guard called out, "Young man, step out of line and walk towards me." He didn't say it in English. My father assumed there would be a medical review, but anticipated that would be in America. Fear of ruining the dream of coming to America poured over him. My father got all of his strength together and walked a straight line with no limp towards the garden. The guard, thinking he had made a mistake, told my father it was okay to get back in line. My father looking back at the guard before wiping the tears from his face due to the pain. This story has served me well in my life. I often reflect on what might have been if my father was not so courageous or lucky on that day. It is my version of smelling the roses and understanding how lucky and fortunate I am. When I got the phone call from Bob Jordan about the honor, I was speechless. I know, it surprised me too. Bob took me through all of the support that CIFI and the Calvary Hospital receives from its members and the food industry, as well as all the great work CIFI and the Calvary Hospital do on behalf of advanced cancer patients. To all of you that bought and sold tickets, I thank you. To the folks not here that still may not have seen the deduction just yet, you were missed. The food was great. The speech killed. And I thank you too. To my wife, my friends, and business associates, thank you for being here. Thank you for everything you did to make this night special, in addition to raising significant money for the great work of CIFI and the Calvary Hospital. To Wakefern, thank you for your continued support. Thank you again for coming. Enjoy the evening, safe travels home, and I will always remember and cherish this special honor. Thank you.
Okay, you kept it under 45 minutes like we asked. It was very touching. I have a couple questions to ask. Did he expense those clothes out, Taylor? 100%, huh? Because you're entitled to get them back, but I don't know if his size will fit you. Right? And I have one more question. Gary, you're not Catholic? Who picked it? It's an honor, right? All right, at this time, Jeffrey, could you come up? You can. Did he get it engraved? Right? Okay. All right, we'd like to have you present a plaque to Emanuele Vitabile from the Catholic Institute of the Food Industry, Retail Media Manager, Wakefern Foods, as our 2022 Person of the Year, and for outstanding and dedicated service to the supermarket industry. Okay, I think we always say that behind every great man is a greater woman. So at this time, I'd like to ask Neville Fenton. Where are you, Neville? Okay, could you please escort Ida Vitabile up for flowers from her husband?
Oh.
Okay, thank you very much. Next person who's going to come up